Hey everyone, my name is Pritam and you're watching Tech with Pri. Welcome to my channel and I'm back with another exciting tech video. And this is the 35th video of our playlist, which is the ServiceNow developer. So as you know that we are doing videos on ATF, which is the automated test framework. In my last two videos, I have already covered concepts such as why we need testing in ServiceNow, what is ATF, why we need ATF, then what are the elements of ATF. Especially in my last video, which is this one, I have shown you two practical test case for our custom application, which was TechWithPri. So as you know, in my ServiceNow developer series, I have created the whole TechWithPri application, custom application from scratch, right? And each and every steps I have explained throughout different videos, right? To continue with that, I have shown you how you can apply different test steps with the help of ATF, right? And I have explained you that. And very importantly, in the last video, I have shown you that how you can debug a test. So you have seen that when you run the test, you get error, right? And how you deal with this error, right? Especially how to add breakpoint, right? All of these things I have shown you in this video. If you missed that video, guys, the link is there in the description, and also you can find the link here on your screen, right? Also, if you want to access the whole playlist, ServiceNow developer playlist, then you can find the link in the description. So you can go ahead and access all those videos, right? So now in today's video, we will go further and explore other very important concepts of ATF. Okay. So let's see what we are going to learn from today's video. Alright. So very first, we are going to learn about a new concept today, which is the test suites. Now, probably in the first video of ATF, I have pronounced suites as test suits probably. Okay, so that was my bad. So it's actually pronounced as test suites. Okay, so we will learn what is that, what is test suites, and also like benefits of test suites. Very important. Okay. In the demo, first we will create a new test suites from scratch. Okay, I'll show you each and every steps. Okay, then I'll show you how you can add different tests inside of test suites, both manually and dynamically. And trust me, the dynamically one is very interesting. You would love it while doing it in PDI. Okay, I'll show you that. Next, we will see how we can create parent-child relationship on test suites. Also, another very important thing that we are going to cover. And we are going to run the test suites, and we will done the analysis of the test suites. I mean, when the error comes, how it affects the test suites. Okay, so you'd understand. Lastly, I'll show you how you can create scheduled test suites. It is one of the feature of test suites. It's very helpful. So all of these things we are gonna do it in the demo. Okay. So make sure you watch the full video, guys, to understand each and every concepts, and also make sure that you are ready with your PDI while I'm doing the demo. All right. So let's quickly understand what is test suites, and let's see what are the benefits of it, and then we will jump into the demo section and we will do all of these things practically with all of you. Test suites. What is test suites? Very important. Now, like I said, we have already understood about how we can build test, right, with different test steps. So test suites is nothing but it's a collection of related tests and other test suites. Inside of a test suites, we can add different tests, okay, multiple tests, and we can add another test suites also, right? Now, especially we use test suites in such cases where we are dealing with similar kind of testing. For an example, like if we are specifically testing a catalog item, okay, so different things of a catalog item we are testing. So suppose we have created 3 different tests inside of the ATF for testing of this catalog item, right? Now we can run 3 different tests one by one, or we can create a test suites and add those 3 tests inside of it and then run the test suites itself. That's really saves a lot of time, and it's a very helpful feature. You'll see it. Then you create test suites, like I was saying, to run a set of tests together, often representing a specific feature, module, or workflow you want to validate. Like I was giving the example with the a specific catalog item test that you are doing. Then we will see the benefits of test suites. Okay, so let's see what we have. It provides a way to organize and categorize your test logically. That makes sense. Instead of running individual tests one by one, like I was saying, you can execute an entire suite with a single click. Very powerful feature, guys. Very powerful feature. When you make changes to your application, you can run a suite of relevant tests to quickly identify any existing functionality has been broken, which is the part of the regression testing, right? So I told you already in my last video that what is regression testing. So once something happened to an instance, like an upgrade happened or a new application you have moved, right? So it's very important to test the existing functionality is working fine or not. Suppose Xanadu upgrade has happens in your instance, so you want to test after the upgrade all the existing functionality are working fine or not. You can test this with the help of the ATF, right? And if you put all the similar kind of test in a group like test suites, and then you can quickly test all those things. You can see quickly identify if any existing functionality has been broken. Lastly, you can schedule test suites to run automatically at specific times like daily or and the night time also. So it's very very important, guys. We will see how we can create schedule test suites, right? Now it's time to jump into my PDI where I'll show you how you can create test suites from the scratch, how you can add test and various other things. So get ready with your PDI and let's get started. Alright, so I'm in my PDI. So quickly I'll go to the all section. I'll type automated test framework ATF. So here we have already seen test. Now it's time to go to the suites. So like test, we will have all out of the box suites. Okay, you can open and try them. Okay, and what we are going to do, we'll also open test, because inside of test suites we are going to add different tests, and I'll show you how you can do that. You can see these are the two tests we have created in the last video for our TechWithPri application. You can see package is showing TechWithPri, so it's like the application. So first I will just filter the or show matching to the show matching of the active all the test, and we have several tests out of the box. Now I'll jump back to the test suites and let's create a new test suite so that you understand what are the different options we have inside of the test suites. So here we go. So my new test suite, so here I'm gonna name it as demo test suites. Demo test suites, yeah, that's fine. So this is a name, and then we have active. The filter condition is very very important when I'll show you the how you can add dynamically test inside of our test suites. Okay, description is there. Parent suite also we are going to use that, okay, to show you how the parent child relationship actually works. So now I'm going to save it quickly. The application is global, I'm doing here. All right, now once I save it, you see I will have a few related lists here. So we have the test suite test. Here we will add the test here. Okay, you can see there is a new button, so we can add different tests from this list here. Okay, now first I'll show you how dynamically you can add test here, then I'll show you manually. So to add test dynamically means you don't need to create a new button and add test manually. It will automatically add based on this filter condition. So remember guys, to use the dynamically test feature inside of the test suite, you need to use the filter condition. Okay, so right now there is no condition match. Now let's try to find some similar test, like now for this example we are gonna add this two tests, basic record producer and basic UI test, these two tests inside of the demo test suites. So all the tests which starts with basic will be added to the demo test suites so that we can run it in one click. Okay, so what we are going to do in the filter condition, we can just choose field and then name starts with basic. Okay, if I put that and then if I click on this refresh icon, update count, now it is showing 161. That's the total count of the test here, right? We have 31 here because we have removed the active one. So if I just filter out, or if I just go back to the all, you would see total we have 161 tests. So for the time being it is showing 161. The moment you put a filter here and click on this update count, the count will be updated. See, now updated count is 2. So that means 2 test is there that starts with basic. So if I click on this link, it will open a new tab and it will show those 2 tests, okay, which starts with basic. Fine, that's it, and we are gonna save it. You see it is already been added, this 2 test. Now why it is very very powerful, because when next time you are gonna create a test starting with basic, it will automatically add in the test suite, and then you can click on run test suite to run all of those tests which contains basic. Isn't it useful? And here the execution order, you can mention it. So execution order means which test will run first. Next we have another thing called abort on failure. You can see stop processing further test in the suites if this test fails. Suppose we turn on the abort on failure option, on this one, this abort on failure option true for basic UI test. Okay, and somehow this test got failed. Somehow it got failed. Then what would happen? Test suite returned as failed, and also this basic record producer, this test won't get performed because you made abort on failure true. So it will abort the test. It won't continue further, and it will skip this one. Okay, if you make abort on failure true. If it is false, let me make it false. So now when you make it false, suppose this basic UI test failed, okay, one of the test steps gets failed, then it will return as failed, but it won't stop here. It will continue and test basic record producer and show the test result. So the test suite result will return as false, but this test will be executed and you would be able to see this test run, pass or not. Okay, so it's a very important thing, this abort on failure. So we have seen how we can add test inside of a test suite dynamically. Now manually, it's a very simple test. If I'm going to click on new here, I can add manually test from here. Like for an example, basic UI test I want to add, and maybe I'll add the execution order as 3. And if I'm click on a submit, this is trying to add, already have been test. Okay, it's already there. So maybe we gonna add simple UI test. Simple UI test. I'm gonna click on submit. Okay, you can see this is added. Now execution order has not been added. You can add it manually. Now there is a thing. If you add manually at the beginning, so if you create a test suite and manually you add this simple UI test at the beginning, okay, with the execution order 1, right? And after that you realize, no, I can make it dynamically. So I'm gonna add the same condition where the condition matches 2. Then the moment you update the filter and save it, this simple UI test would be gone and this 2 will come in. So it's a best practice if you are creating a test suite and you know that some dynamically thing you need to add it or you can add it. So then do that first. And if there are other tests that you can't add it dynamically with a filter condition, then like I've shown you, you can add it later. Like I add the simple UI test later and it's showing here. Okay. So we understand how we add test suites both manually and dynamically. Also what is the execution order and abort on failure, all this stuff, right? Now we would see how we can add this parent-child relationship, right? So let's create another test suite. So I will open suites and I'll create another test suites, and maybe I'm gonna give it the name as demo child. Okay, this child one, and I'm gonna save it. And here also, so let me add one test here. So I'm gonna click on new. And let's see what we have. Let's try to get a basic one. So let's see, submit a order guide, okay, in the service portal. That's we are going to do. Execution order is 1. Abort on failure, I'm not making it as true. Okay, and then I'm gonna click on save. Okay, this time I did it manually. And let me click on update and let's add another one. And I'm gonna add a same one because I wanted to show you something. So again I'm gonna add maybe okay, this simple UI test, I'm gonna move it to the demo here in the demo child. So I'm gonna click on new simple UI test and I'll make it 2. And now I'm gonna add a test which will cause a failure instead of submit order. So let me remove this one because I have a plan and that will actually help you to understand another concept. So now simple UI test, we have it here in the demo child as well as in the demo test suites. Okay, you can add a same test in multiple test suites. Okay, there's no issue on that. All right, now I'm gonna click on new and manually I'm gonna add another test which is called, what is that, Jasmine test. So falling Jasmine test. So these are out of the box test, guys, which will actually fail. So this is just been there to experiment and stuff, so you can do that. So this, I'll quickly show you. This is the test, and here we only have a run server side script. Okay, you can come here and check that, okay, in your PDI. So we are gonna add that failing Jasmine test, so that, I mean, actually I want it to be failed. Okay, so it will execute first and then I'm gonna click on submit. Let me go back to our demo child. So this is the demo child test suite. Okay, so inside of the demo child we have the falling Jasmine test and the simple UI test. So abort on failure, I'll make it true. I told you, right? If abort on failure is true, that means if this Jasmine test got failed, then this simple UI test won't work. So I'll show you that. So let's save it. Now first I will make the parent and child relationship. So this is our test suite, completely different test suite than this one. So this is a demo test suite and this is a demo child. Okay, so now I'll copy the test suite name here, demo test suites, and I will just paste it here in the parent suites. Okay, so that's how you create a parent child relationship. So similar like how you create a parent child incident. Okay, so let me save that. Now I'll go to the parent test suites. Right now in the child test suites we have nothing, so I'm gonna refresh it. Right now you can see inside of the demo test suites we have the child test suites, which is demo child, and inside of demo child we have two different tests, right? So now this demo test suites, we can run this single test suites, and that would run this three tests including two other tests which is there in the demo child, right? This is the benefit of using test suite. So now let's go and run this test suite. Okay, again we are gonna need a client test runner because there are a lot of client steps out there. Okay, here we go, waiting for a test to run. So I've not seen all the steps which is mentioned there. So you can see it has probably impersonate with the ATF user, and this is the basic UI test it is doing. All right, let's see. If I go back to the test suites, it's successfully run. Okay, it's okay, it's running the second one, basic record producer test. Okay, if I go back, you can see the first test, basic UI test, has been passed successfully. Now it is doing the basic record producer test. If I click on that, you can also see the different steps. So there are total 6 steps that is performing. So let's go back here. All right, now it will run this simple UI test. So we have 3 tests, and if I go back, you can see this is the number 3 test, and after that it will run the execute test suite demo child. Okay, all right, so finally it's done. If I go back here, you can see the demo child test, this one is failed. So I'm gonna go to run result, or go to result, sorry. So one thing very quickly, let me tell you, this test result which is getting stored, so this automatically gets deleted, okay, after 30 days. Okay, that's the basic settings. So if you don't want that, then you can click on this checkbox. You can see if I hover on that, set this flag to prevent the result from being deleted by table cleanup. So there is a table cleanup here under the automated, okay, automated test framework. If you go here under the administration, you have the table cleanup. If you open that, so it is already mentioned test suite result and the test result will be deleted automatically after 30 days. So probably this has calculated the seconds here. Okay, so but if you don't want that, you can just click on that. Now, okay, these 3 are successful: simple UI test, basic record producer, and basic UI test. So this is for the first test suite, right? Now if I go to the child test suite, demo child has failed. Now if I click on this timestamp here to get the details about it, so you can see the failing Jasmine test, this has failed. Now there's a very important thing that I wanted to show you. You see here I have made this abort on failure as true. So this test, this simple UI test didn't run. However, as this simple UI test is part of the let me open the parent demo test suites here, as simple UI test is part of this here, part of the demo test suites, so it runs successfully. So that's what I wanted to show you. So other than simple UI test, if I put another test here, okay, and then if I run, and if abort on failure is true, the other test won't run because abort on failure is true. Now when it is false, then it will go to the next test, whichever it's available. Now I'm sure that the concept of test suites gets clear. What is test suites, how you can create it, how you can add test manually and dynamically, how you can make a parent child things, right? So all these are very, very important, guys. Okay, and let me tell you, if you're not practicing it in your PDI, then this concept won't get clear. Also you can do a debug test suite. I already have shown you how you can do debug test suite in my last video, right? How you can add a breakpoint, which is very, very important. That's all about the test suites. And now quickly we're going to see that how we can schedule a test suite. So we are going to schedule the same one, this demo test suite. So I'm going to close the other one as well. Okay, and here we have the test runner, which I will close. We don't need it anymore, because to run the schedule test suite we have another kind of client test runner. Okay, I'll show you. First of all, understand that you can use scheduling only in the test suite, not in a test, single test, right? It has to be a test suite where you are doing the scheduling. So if I go back here and I will go to all section, and again I will type automated test framework, and here we have the schedule. Okay, I'll open it in a new tab. Right now we don't have anything, so I'm going to click on new here. and I'll just name it demo schedule, something like that. So when we want to run, so maybe daily at maybe at 3 p.m. Okay, 15, fine. Global, and you can put a conditional also. So you can write some script and mentioning that when it will run. So that would be something advanced. So we are not going into that. So I'm gonna save it right now. So once you save it, you will have other options here. You can see schedule suites. So the suite that you are going to add it. So I'm gonna click on new here to add a suite. So execution order 1 test suite that we are gonna add is the demo test suite. Okay, you can add a watch list also if you want to give someone email and stuff. All right, now this is very important, the client constraints. So you can specify which browser, which specific browser it will run, Chrome, Firefox, okay. And also you can mention the OS, Windows like or Mac or Linux, okay, where you will run. You can also mention browser version or OS version. We are not going to do that, but that is also something you can do, okay, based on your need again. So I'm gonna click on save. So now our schedule suite has been successfully configured. So if I go back here, if I go to the all automated test framework, if I go to schedule now, you see we have a demo schedule that will run every day. Okay, now if I go here, open the demo schedule. Now if you click on execute now, see what happens. Okay, it gives you error. It cancelled. All suites were cancelled. A scheduled client test runner that satisfy this client constraints not available. So here we have created this schedule, right? Execution order 1, browser any, OS any, right? But there is no scheduled client test runner is open. Okay. So for that, what we need to do under the automated test framework, if I scroll down here, you can see scheduled client test runner. So that is different than the other test runner, like normal client test runner. If I open normal client test runner, you'd see a normal client test runner will open. Okay, so now if I test any test suites or test, it will come here and it will do the UI testing, and you would be able to see the all steps, right? Now for scheduled test runner, you need to go here and you need to go to schedule client test runner, this option, and this is one, the schedule test runner. It looks similar, but you can see there is a message. This test runner is configured to only run schedule test and suites. It is not available to execute any test or suites that are started manually, right? So this is the difference between client test runner and the scheduled client test runner. Now if I go back here and click on execute now, and you see what happens. And if I go back here, you see running step 1 basic UI test. So it is started to do the test in the client schedule test runner. So you see testing is happening. Now if I go back home and again I'll search automated test framework, you would be able to see you can see active schedule test runner. It will show you the list of the active schedule test runner. So right now this is the one I have created, system administrator, browser name Chrome, OS name Mac. So I'm using Mac here. So it is showing status is online. So it is online. You can see here it's online, it's running. This is the one, right? So here it will show all the active test runner, scheduled client test runner, which is currently running, or if it is turned off, it will show offline here. Okay. So always remember, when you are running a scheduled test runner, an active client test runner should be there in this list. Otherwise it won't run. I've shown you, right? It will automatically get cancelled. I hope the concept of test suites and how you can schedule test suites, now it's very much clear, right? And again, I'm saying you have to practice it in your PDI, guys, so that you can understand each and every steps. All right. So this is it for today, guys. I'll see if I can make more videos on ATF, little bit of advanced level. So once I will learn those things, I will definitely share with all of you. And you know that this is what my channel is all about. So learning and sharing. So the more I'll learn, the more I'll share. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section for any question or any doubt. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family so that it can reach out to many people. See you in my next video. Bye bye. Take care.